Hello and welcome back to LaynieGanja's channel. I actually have a moment to post, and this is a very special one for me. I actually received a message from somebody that follows my videos and things on social media, and they actually gave me a wonderful request for a video about basically weaning yourself off of toxic substances. So her question in particular was about alcohol, was about booze, and that is something I very strongly relate to, and something that I have tons of personal experience with in my own journey. So thank you so much for that amazing suggestion, and I'm always open to others. So please feel free to reach out to me. That person happened to reach out to me on my Facebook page, just looking up LaynieGanja. So yes, I definitely welcome that and really appreciate it. So thank you. You know, I've mentioned it before in some videos, and that's kind of how this came to be about with this particular request, was that I had kind of nonchalantly mentioned that I was a booze hound, a major booze hound, and that cannabis actually really helps me with my relationship with alcohol, and it really helped transform the way that I was approaching substances. So this is my personal experience and my personal journey, and I know a lot of people shared this similar experience. And with the opioid epidemic that's going on right now, with the just epidemic in general of people living very unhealthy lives, living very unhappily, people just feeling a lot of anxiety and depression, you know, these are things that can really help us all, these tips that I want to talk about, so, and how cannabis relates to that. So just first and foremost, for some people, they might hear, well, why would I wean myself off of a toxic substance with cannabis? Why would I replace one habit with another? Why would I replace one drug with another drug? So that's first and foremost what I want to clear up, and what I want to make known is that the compounds found within cannabis, the natural organic cannabis that the earth provides us, those are non-toxic and non-lethal to the human body. And that is why a herbal resource like cannabis can be so insanely helpful when you are trying to wean yourself off of a substance that is toxic. So that's one of the biggest differences right off the bat, is the fact that cannabis is non-toxic and non-lethal to the body. And you can utilize the variety of compounds that cannabis has within it in a way to wean yourself off of other substances, and in a way to rebalance your body and really correct deficiencies or correct imbalances that you have. And the way you do that is, say you are, you know, you're hardcore addicted to a substance, and you feel like there's no way out and you don't even know how to begin. The first thing you can simply do is begin to incorporate any form of cannabis, whether that be smoking it, taking some sort of hemp herbal supplement, whether it's just taking CBD, whether it's taking cannabis tinctures or consuming oil. Any of these forms are going to help you and your body when you're being faced with these withdrawals and being faced with the pain that you're going to feel. So what you would do is you would begin to incorporate any form of cannabis that you can. Obviously, the more organic and the more well-sourced, the better. Just like, you know, food and anything else, you want, instead of eating a bunch of food that's full of preservatives and unnatural ingredients, if you're focusing on your health and wellness, you're going to want to get organic. You're going to want to get foods that have real ingredients, all natural, things that are not artificial. So just like that. So when you begin to consume these different forms of cannabis, it will allow you to begin decreasing how much you are consuming your toxic substance, whatever that may be. And it's just little tiny small things that you can do, and little tiny small decisions you can make every day. Every day is a new choice. So, or every day is a new opportunity. Every day is a chance to be the best you can be and make the best decisions that you can make. So don't feel like this is an overwhelming thing that's totally unachievable. Literally take it small triumphs at a time. If that means that instead of drinking whiskey and beer all day, and instead you cut back to just beer all day, or maybe you cut back to just whiskey all day, whatever it is, you know, those small little changes and those small little efforts help chip away at the larger problem and help make the larger problem a lot more doable, you know, to conquer. So just be loving and easy on yourself. This is a difficult thing, having a substance abuse problem. And, you know, be gentle on yourself and celebrate the tiniest little victories that you have. And it's going to get easier and easier and easier with time. I strongly suggest surrounding yourselves with people that are very supportive, people that are very positive, people that want to see you do well. Try to maybe cut off relationships that are just completely enabling you, or relationships that really don't provide much positivity in your life. They're really just drinking buddies, or they're people you get pills from, or, you know, whatever your case may be. So surrounding yourself with this type of love and support and people that genuinely care about you and genuinely want you to be well will help this process so much more. So that's first and foremost. Just begin by taking it literally one day at a time and seeing if you can just simply begin to lower the amount of toxic substances you are taking that day. And if you lowered it even in the slightest, that is a huge freaking accomplishment, a huge freaking accomplishment. And the more that you do this every little day, the better it's going to be. So I wanted to show a couple of things that I really like, just to show people the variety of cannabis and the different ways you can use this, because it's not just smoking and it's not even just THC. If you're somebody that really needs high THC, that's fine, that's great. But maybe you want to get away from that like head change type feeling, and maybe you would, maybe you're going for more of a fully clearing yourself out. You don't want to be on any sort of altered substances. In that case, things like CBD are going to be your best friend, and they're going to be CBD products will be something that you can really utilize to help you. So, for instance here, a couple different forms. These are something really easy you could begin incorporating into your daily life to help you with the overall pain, inflammation, anxiety, mood, all kinds of things like that. So I typically will do these. This is a tincture. So this is a tincture, CBD and hemp seed oil from Pure Hemp Botanicals. You can get it at purehempbotanicals.com. They have different strengths and different doses that you can take. Same with this. This is a soft gel or a capsule that you can purchase in different doses, and you could just simply take one of these a day. Now, the thing with CBD, it's not like you're going to overdose on it. It's not like anything terrible is going to happen to you. So you could definitely start off with one dose, assess yourself throughout the day, and if you need more, by all means, take more. It's not going to hurt you to take more. You don't need to be worried about toxicity with this compound. So those are two easy ways. You know, this one you drop under the tongue, and this one you would just swallow. You could do things like a spray, same type of idea. It's a tincture spray meant to go underneath your tongue. This one I'm showing is from the Growing Kitchen, which is a local cannabis cultivation facility in Colorado. And this is a lovely little tincture spray. And I can literally go right under my tongue. And I just put literally a microdose of THC and CBD under my tongue. And because that's what's cool about it. It's like a little spray guy. So it has really controlled dosing and is good for a nice microdose throughout the day. You could go that route. You could go similar type of concept. I even have another type of tincture that I got at one of my favorite mountain towns in Netherland, Colorado. And this is a full spectrum cannabis tincture. So same type of idea. The differences are that this one was CBD and hemp seed oil, so it's not going to have any psychoactivity. And this came from the dispensary, which does have THC and is from the full cannabis plant, so this will have psychoactivity. That's the difference there. Next, another item from the Growing Kitchen that I mentioned are these freaking amazing chill pills. So they have a variety of chill pills, and unlike what the name might make you think, they're not an actual pill that you're swallowing. It's actually a very delicious, all-natural hard candy that you can simply suck on, chew on, whatever, like you would a Jolly Rancher, but it's made with all-natural ingredients and cannabis hash oil, and they make them in varieties like CBD rich. This one's an indica hash oil, and this one's a sativa hash oil. So, different varieties, so you can try them, see how you're feeling, and see what dosage is right for you. That's the cool thing about cannabis, is you can really play around with it. You can play around with the time of day you're consuming, how much you're consuming, how often you're consuming, and you can really cater it to exactly what you need just simply by trying it and assessing yourself throughout the day. So really, for me, all this stuff that I just talked about is much more advanced than where I started. But I just kind of wanted to give you an idea of just the variety that you can use. I mean, some people are using patches. They're using you can go to Mary's Medicinals, and they have this patch that's a 12-hour slow release patch. So you could put something like that on throughout the day and really help yourself be weaning off of substances and be helping yourself feel okay throughout the day by giving yourself a slow release medicine through a patch from the cannabis plant. So, I went to this amazing panel earlier this year, and it was for addiction, and I really was so blown away. They had every single background pretty much you could think of up on this panel. I'm talking people really addicted to alcohol, people really addicted to anxiety medications, people super addicted to big pharma pain pills, people addicted to heroin, people addicted to meth. You know what every single one of those people on the panel had in common? Every single one of them kicked their addiction by utilizing cannabis. And now they all stood in front of us, clean from their toxic substances, happier than they had ever been, healthier than they had ever been, and far more in control of their health and wellness, their mentality, their spiritual wellness than they had ever been in their whole lives. And that was just a really powerful thing to me. Like, I already knew this from experience as far as cannabis being such a good help for if you do have kind of abusive relationships to other substances. But to see it with a panel full of people from all these different backgrounds, with all these different experiences with different substances, it was just an extremely powerful panel that really stuck with me. I mean, people think of things like meth and heroin as so totally extreme, and they would be like, well, cannabis can't touch that. And it's true. Cannabis is not a cure-all by any means, and that's not what I'm trying to say. That's not what a lot of people are trying to say. So don't get it twisted. It's not like cannabis cure-all, like you do this and everything will be okay. It's more just like we want people to know and to have the empowerment to know how to use cannabis to basically promote your health, wellness, spirituality, self-reflection, the way you think about the world around you. It's more like we just want people to know that this is a powerful tool, and that this is a really, really therapeutic herbal resource that we all can be utilizing in so many different ways in regards to our health and wellness, and that includes addiction. So we are in this crazy epidemic right now of opioids, and the reality is cannabis can help. And, we just need people to have better access to this. We need people to have a better understanding of this. We need the stigma to go away. This is a natural herbal resource that human beings have been using since the beginning of recorded history for their health and wellness and spirituality. And it's only been the last 80 years in history that this plant has been prohibited in the way that it has. And this past 80 years in history is such a small, tiny blip of history compared to how long humans have been occupying this planet. So, we really need to break the stigma around this plant. We really need to make it more widely available. And we need to definitely break the stigma that it's not okay for someone recovering from addiction to be utilizing cannabis. It is absolutely okay for them to be utilizing cannabis, and it could be the very compound that potentially saves their life and potentially gets them through their withdrawals and gets them through the the mental torment that they're going through. Same with PTSD. That's been something we've been talking about a lot here in Colorado. And we weren't sitting there saying, hey, cannabis is going to get rid of all of your problems, people that are suffering PTSD. It was like, no, we just simply want people to be aware and educated that cannabis can be an incredible resource if you are suffering from this condition, and we just want it to be legally available to those people. So that's really it. I don't know, as many of you know, I do all my videos extremely impromptu, and I don't keep notes, and I don't edit shit, so hopefully this was all helpful. Hopefully you got some good use out of this, or any sort of inspiration that this is something that you can accomplish and it is very doable. I personally myself, I wasn't a raging alcoholic or anything. I definitely had alcoholic tendencies. I just wasn't the typical alcoholic that maybe you would think of. It's more just I had an extremely bad relationship with alcohol. Basically one of those types where I was solely drinking alcohol to binge drink and was totally okay with blacking out. So I was drinking and blacking out like it was nothing, pretty much blacking out every time I was drinking, and I just had no concept of what a healthy relationship with alcohol could look like because I was abusing it and misusing it so much. And I was really unhealthy, too. You might not look at me at the time. This was maybe, pretty much from my being a 20-year-old until I was probably 25. I just had a really, really bad relationship with alcohol, and even from 25 and on, I still had to really work that out. It really wasn't until a year and a half ago before I fully kicked the way that I approached alcohol and completely changed how I approach it. But yeah, I was always binge drinking. I was always blacking out. I was always doing really foolish things, and really things that were just my conscious self would not think are great. And alcohol just kind of has a way of doing that to us, where, our consciousness goes out the window and our morals and shit go out the window, and we just kind of become people that are doing things that really aren't so great. And, even in my personal relationship, it was super common for my then boyfriend / fiance, we're married now, but it was super common for us as being such binge drinkers to just get wasted and fight our faces off. And it's and we were just consistently doing this over and over and over, just getting wasted, having blackout fights, getting wasted, being super upset with each other. And it's guess what happened? When we changed our relationship to alcohol, we no longer were fighting like that, and we no longer had that problem in our communication and in our relationship. So once you clear the cloud of these substances, you really will experience a sense of empowerment and control and alignment with your mind, body, and soul that you really didn't even know was possible before, because you were basically clouding yourself with substances. So this level of happiness is achievable. This level of health and control of your life is achievable, and I would really love to help people achieve that. So I hope this helped. Sorry for ranting so long. Please give me feedback. You're more than welcome. And peace, love, LaynieGanja. I wish you all the health and happiness in the world. Mwah!